So today I'm back here at one of my local places to have a bit of a walk, and this is Friendsbeck Nature Reserve, and you can see we are slightly waterlogged because we've had so much rain, and you can see that the river is quite high up on the bank there. So I'm going to see if I can find a bench to sit down on and do a little sketch. We'll see how far I can get, depending on how wet everything is. But it is all quite pretty, even though it's wet. And I really just wanted to get out today. So, there we go, look. Well, it does look like they've put down some more, I don't know, like straw or something up ahead, probably to help. Oh, and look at the mistake I made. Yes. Bright white trainers. Thankfully, they're ones that you can wash. So, my gosh, look how far all this water has come up. Wow. I didn't bring my tripod or anything fancy today, other than I bought with me anyway, a flask so that I can have a cup of coffee if I can find somewhere to sit. But I mean, I can see a huge pile of mud coming up. Oh well, let's go for it, as they say. Hopefully when I get a bit higher up, it might get a bit easier. Let's just hope I don't do one of those big skids in the mud. Oh, it is terribly boggy and slidey. Maybe I'm better off on the other side. Oh, I think that's a bit better. Right. Goodness gracious. This means that the water must have come up and over, I'm guessing. I don't know. But we'll see. Now then, we've got a bench here. It's not looking too bad, but let's see if we can go a bit further, find a different bench. Oh my goodness, I really should have worn boots, I think. I can see my white trainers going in the washing machine as soon as I get back. Oh, goodness gracious me. This is what happens when you try to do things impromptu. Oh. Anyway, it's not as cold as it might be, or not as cold as it has been. It's 5 degrees centigrade, so let me think what that would be. That would be double it and add 30, so 10, so 40 degrees Fahrenheit. That's what I've got today. Look at this lovely old tree here. I'll just turn around. Hope that you can see this lovely big old tree. And yes, this is the mud. Wow. Okay, let's keep going. Ooh, right. Over to the other side. I'm just trying to work out as I walk along which side is less slippy and boggy. Anyway, we're out in the fresh air, and that's one of the main things that I wanted to achieve today. Oh, look at that. Now that would make a really nice picture, wouldn't it? I'm going to take a screenshot of that. Lovely. Right. Well, I was hoping it would be less boggy as I walked up this way, but not hugely so far. I'm just going to hope that I don't come across a dog walker where the dog is off the lead and it jumps up me and covers me with mud. That has happened before now. So we'll keep our fingers crossed on that one. Oh, good heavens. And I guess really, you know, the fact that we've got all these footprints, all of these footprints in the mud, shows that this lovely nature reserve is being used. So, you know, that's a good thing, isn't it? Oh, I'm seeing a bench up there that I think is going to be my bench. Right, let's head towards that. This is a far cry from watching the video of my fellow artist Diana Lisa, where she walks. She's in Southern California, and when she walks down to lovely little now then I'm probably going to get this wrong, I think it might be a lake. Yes. Me, what do I get? I get mud. Diana, if you're watching this. Here we go. Here is a bench that is relatively dry. So I'm going to set myself up and I'll be back in a minute. So what I've brought with me today is this very small Sea White of Brighton sketchbook, which I'll try and, with my cold hands, get it out. So this is, I don't know how big it is, but if I hold it up against my hand, you can see it's not even the size of my hand. And it's one of those concertina sketchbooks. So I've got that with me. And then I've got a small peg and awl pouch. And let's have a look, see what I've got in here. So in here I have got a few, where are we? I've got a few pens and water brush. Yeah, nothing much in there. So I think I'm going to start off using my Sailor Food 8 pen. The only other thing I've got with me is this tiny little set of Viviva paints, and I'll show you those in a bit. Anyway, I didn't bring anything with me to set up and watch me sketch, so I'll just keep stopping and starting. So what I've got here, I'm hoping, well, maybe I'll have to stand up a bit, but I've got this pathway and this tree on the left. Then we've got these grasses, we've got a little fence there, and there's me because I've twiddled it round. And we've got a bit of a bank with some more trees on. So this is my little sketch so far. My hands are now frozen, so I'm going to have some of my coffee and warm my hands up, and then maybe I'll get some colours out. Okay, so I've got my flask and I've got my coffee, and you know what? My hands are so cold I might have to do the rest in the car. Okay, my hands are now so cold. Oh, I can't even feel my fingers. So yes, I'm going to keep walking and walk back to the car. Looks like they've put this down to help because it's so muddy. We can see this kind of wood chip or straw stuff. Right, which way should I go back? Let's go this way. Up there is another little bench which I sometimes go and sit on. But yeah, it's all, to be fair, just a tad too cold for the fingers to cope with. Yeah, but I'll show you. I mean, it really is pretty waterlogged. Let's hope that as we move into March that maybe we'll get some drier weather, and that'll make this walk a lot more pleasant. Yeah. Right. I hope you can hear the birdies. Oh, yeah. Hello, birdie. Right. Going up. Yeah, it doesn't really matter whether I'm up on higher ground or not. The paths are just all just as muddy. Still, I managed to get out for a short walk. That's a very long one. But better than no walk at all, as they say. I think that bench is new. Just there. Yeah, look. I mean, that's all water in there. And it isn't normally water. And obviously today I've gone round in a circle, but what we call the very short circle. Yeah, It's not terribly walking friendly at the moment by the looks of it. Going back up and to the car park. So I'm now back from my very cold walk and my hands have just about warmed up. So here is my little sketch that I did when I was sat on the bench, and I'm going to finish it just as if I was still there. So I'm going to pull out my little Viviva paints that I took with me, and yeah, we've got just a few colours. So we've got cinnamon, mango, opera, alizarin crimson, viridian, deep blue, violet and burnt umber. So those are my colours. This is what you use for your mixing palette, and here I've got my water brush. So I'm gonna mix up, get some water coming out. Have we got any water in it? Well, I would have been stumped, wouldn't I? One of those days. My trainers are a complete and utter mess. I'm having to leave them to dry. And then I will try and get the majority of the mud off, and then see if I need to actually wash them. Luckily they are, and this isn't a plug, I did buy them myself, but they're the Skechers washable trainers, so obviously you know that kind of helps. There we go. Let's get some colour going in here, and let's just get my little pathway going, which was kind of orangey because they'd laid down the kind of straw and little bits of wood cuttings, I suppose you'd call them. So yeah, here we go. Let's get our little path in, and then let's take our viridian, and I don't want it like that, so I'm going to add a bit of blue to it. Oh no, okay, let's go with a bit of the orange. Yes, there we go. It's a much better colour. So there we go. I've mixed some colours for my grasses, which are coming up, and then we'll add in that little bank at the top there, and want to get my little fence in, so we'll use the burnt umber, and then we'll get some burnt umber in here for some of the trees. I mean, you know, when you're out and about, there's not really a great deal that you can do. I'm just making this more of a grey green now, especially when it's cold, so you're kind of left with having to do very quick sketches like this, that just give you an idea of you know, the scene, I suppose you might call it. So you know, I probably, in that cold, being true to being outside, I probably wouldn't have been able to do a great deal. more than this. Maybe we will just, if I water that down a bit more, that's better. Then we can maybe get, you know, a little bit of the greenery around the bottom of our trees going onto that pathway a bit. There we go. So that is probably all that I would have done if I was outside. And so I am going to leave it there. But I hope that for those of you like me that maybe are very much struggling to get out at the moment because of the weather, maybe you know, that little video of me getting out and about you know, might have meant that you felt like you were kind of outside with me. There we go, just try and clean them off a little bit. Yeah, so very small little palette, which would have worked really well if my hands hadn't got so cold. Water brush, tiny little Sea White of Brighton concertina pad, and there you have it. One very small, very quick sketch, just because I really felt like I needed to get out. Okay, till next time. Bye for now.